I just want to say from the beginning, can you please leave a comment at the end of this video?
You debuted a new look recently, Meghan.
Yeah, what do you think?
Well, the hair's nice, but on this new picture of you from your TED Talk appearance, you do look a little bit plastic.
See, we said plasticine, but plastic works. It's just that sometimes some of us, right, we're lucky enough that even when we're in our early, mid-40s, you can still have those days where your skin's just like perfect, like radiant.
Well, it certainly was radiant, Meghan, but it also was clearly distinct and different from any of your previous incarnations. It's very artificial looking, as was the smile. In fact, the skin, smile and straight hair combo was so artificial it complemented, if indeed matched, the artifice of your nature.
Yeah, and it's that kind of, syncopation that I'm known for. It's all about the details.
Did you know that plastics come from a rich soup of hydrocarbons called crude oil?
Yes.
Oh, just wanted to be sure that we all had the same frame of reference. That's all.
That's very wise of you, Harry. But we have an email sent in here, Meghan, by Barbara Banana, who says that in your new picture you look like you've been fused with a cyborg.
I see it.
Whereas Penelope Pineapple disagrees. She thinks you look like you've been gilded by Tracy Emin and an aerosol can.
I agree with Penelope. My Meghan is a work of art.
But on a more serious note, Meghan, it really didn't look anything like you. I really genuinely didn't recognise your face. It was almost like you were wearing a different one.
Well, people have always said that she was two-faced, but it was just assumed that was an insult.
Yeah, well, I think there's probably a lot of jealousy going on right here, because I've reappeared into the public eye, and I know that my fans, as well as my haters, to be perfectly honest, they're on tenterhooks when I haven't been seen for a while.
Yeah, what's she going to be wearing? Is she going to do or say anything worth parodying?
Yeah, and now, which face will she be wearing?
It's Renee Zellweger all over again.
I think it eats people up, I've re-emerged onto the public scene, and done so by bucking the, sexist stereotypes by doing so at a TED Talk. And, I just think I'm at a TED Talk and I've got flawless skin, right? So, yeah, it eats people up. And if that's the case, you know what? I've got nothing but compassion for them.
She's all give.
Well, Larry Lemon thinks you look like you've been replaced by your Madame Tussauds waxwork.
Well, I can confirm that she doesn't sit too close to the fire at the moment, to prevent unwanted dripping.
I've signed with a major LA talent agency. It's a big deal. This is a big step forward for us.
Yeah, she signed with WMD.
No, that's weapon of mass destruction. The thing we never found after we invaded Iraq?
Oh, yeah. Which is also my family's nickname for you.
I've signed with a WME, right? Who have people on their roster like Ben Affleck,
Committed wokester,
Matt Damon, Adele, the singer.
Talented but foul-mouthed and over-friendly.
And of course, my close, dear friend, Serena
Williams. Used to play tennis. Successfully. She once got a set off John McEnroe.
Right, so you've signed on to one of these elite talent agencies. Which in itself is a reality-bending irony. A company which showed profits of $4.04 billion in 2021.
Success and money are synonymous, right? And that's the only reason we even want money. So we know we've been successful, right? And, anyone who knows us will know that what's most important to us is to do our bit in the world.
Successfully.
Right. So we have to make money from it, right? Like, to know that we're being successful.
It's just something that we have to bear, It's an albatross around our necks. It really is.
Okay, so your unhappy pursuit of money continues. You're looking to get involved in making rom-coms, or so we read.
Yeah, rom-coms and, just feel-good TV mainly, right? Like things that enhance and don't diminish. Things that uplift and include rather than suppress and exclude.
Sure. I've got no idea what you mean, of course. I mean, I understand the words, but they've been weaved together in a modernist terminology, which invariably means it will be a wokological indoctrination as well as mindless distraction.
Word for word what was stated back at Mission Control this morning, Cobalt. You're a really talented sort of guy. You should consider signing up for this agency, WMD or E or whatever.
Well, yeah, it's maybe a little bit of voiceover work, to help pay the bills.
No, I don't think they actually deal with people like yourself. I think they're more specialized in A-listers, right?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm sure there'd be many agencies that'd be suitable for people like you, but this one's more for people like me.
People who stop traffic, She does have a point, Cobalt, actually. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have suggested it.
No, you shouldn't have. Then you left me with the job of cleaning things up and getting out of this.
Yeah, but you could have just said it was an agency just for people who lived in LA or California. You didn't have to bring up and mock his lack of, fame and importance.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the way I like to do things.
Charming. But returning back to your new TV career, we hear that you won't be returning to acting, Meghan. Thank God. But that this step does take you a lot closer to making Archwell the billion-dollar player in Tinseltown that you've always so obviously wanted.
Yeah, maybe, but it's not what we've got our focus on right now.
Oh. Clearly. So you were left disappointed that the then Prince Charles didn't want to accept the guilt of unconscious bias, a term that was dreamt up 10 minutes ago in a social science department, and that would have given sole arbitration to the content of their minds, indeed their souls, to self-appointed psychics like yourself, Meghan.
Yeah, he just glossed over it like it was some kind of newfangled nonsense.
Yeah, I used to even have unconscious bias. It once forced me to dress up as a Nazi.
There's been a lot spoken about a certain interaction, or rather non-interaction, between you two recently. We're talking a certain sporting venue, a certain big screen entreaty to share a kiss, and a certain rejection on your part, Meghan, leaving Harry to look like a husband who's been unceremoniously bumped into the friend zone.
You cheeky rapscallion. We knew you'd bring that up.
Yeah, and it wasn't really a rebuff. I'm just not really a kiss on screen kind of girl.
No, as we saw in Suits.
Yeah, I think it was the situation. We had thousands of people round us that my Meghan didn't know. She's the shy and retiring type. Yeah, if we'd been somewhere familiar that she was comfortable with, she would have got stuck in. You know what I mean? Wouldn't you, my little banoffee pie? She finds it very difficult to resist me. Almost impossible. Watch this. Kissy, Meghan. Kissy.
No, please, Harry.
That a girl. You show some restraint. She's a role model for the girls of today's generation. She really is.
Is that right, Meghan? You didn't want to be caught on camera smooching with your husband?
Yeah, no, I just don't think that it's very classy. I always try to maintain a bit of some classy behavior. So, I don't know, overt displays of affection in the public eye, right? Nah, it's a bit cringy.
Yeah, and she's avoided doing anything cringe up until this point.
Yeah, and there's the, you got to kiss on demand aspect to the whole thing, which I don't, I found a little bit demeaning. Yeah, and if I'm going to be honest, yeah, probably a bit sexist.
And racist too.
Or you say that you're uncomfortable with public displays of affection, Meghan, yet you've been publicly welded hand to hand since 2018. You even went hand in hand to greet mourners after the Queen's death, something which I think borders on disrespect.
Yeah, but hand holding is different to kissing.
Let me just get a pen to record that. Yeah. Kissing is different to hand holding. Oh, God. This stuff's priceless.
Yeah, and there's this implication with hand holding, one of like inseparability. And also it demonstrates the power that I have over H in the way that he doesn't feel comfortable in these public situations without the calming presence of my hand.
Yeah, she started wearing a glove recently.
Yeah, hygiene and all that.
Well, it's almost as though you go to great lengths to humiliate Harry.
Oh, no, that's not true. I simply deny that.
She does no such thing, Cobalt.
Yeah, no, I don't put any great effort into it. It's just like this kiss thing. I just have no qualms about whether I humiliate Harry or not.
Yeah, it's all very natural and organic. Come on, give us a kiss, love.
We're going to be making a documentary in South Africa. Well, we hope.
Yeah, we're teaming up with Netflix again. Always a good source of moolah.
So I've read you plan to be filmed meeting up with communities throughout South Africa.
Rumour has it they can't wait to meet us.
Oh, I hadn't heard that rumour.
Well, I only started it very recently.
Yeah, we're definitely going to be conducting this tour very much within with a humanitarian focus, right? And for instance, we're going to be teaching people about safe birthing practices.
Well,
No, not teach. We're going to bring awareness of safe birthing practices.
Nice save.
The cameras are going to follow us as we visit compounds and share medical knowledge.
That's right, yeah, I'm reading that here. Funny how it says sharing medical education as opposed to medical information or knowledge, medical knowledge.
Yeah, well, it's precisely written that way for a very specific reason, which I am not privy to.
Which is exactly as it should be.
Indeed. But do you think that you and Harry are really qualified to be spreading medical education? Whatever that means.
We're experts.
Right, I'm always really good at psychology, right? I got a natural gift at psychology, so I can always just see what makes people tick, right? And that unique insight psychologically, and how that relates to physiology and, the workings of the body gives me a good basis for, medical knowledge. I can always locate people's weaknesses, I know exactly where they're weak.
Yeah, well, it's a bit embarrassing, actually, because Meghan and I overlap, in our specialist area, in our specialist field medically, because I'm more psychology too, concentrating more on the mental health and mental health awareness aspect of things.
Fascinating.
Yeah, before I met Meghan, my Meghan, on that very special day, do you remember the exact date? I'm sure you do.
I'm not even sure what year it was.
Yeah, well, before that day, a day that remains very close to both of our hearts, I used to spend so much time laughing and being happy, waste so much time on that I couldn't properly concentrate on my mental health.
Oh, okay. So, by implication, that would mean that your current state of mopey perma-whinge is unequivocal proof that you are currently dedicating your time firmly to your mental health.
Yeah, mental health awareness is about opening up and letting your demons out.
Is it?
And when Harry finally let his demons out, when he finally opened up, we really found out what a state he was actually in. I mean, those Rawls really messed him up.
Right. So your qualification for spreading medical education around South Africa is that you did such a top-notch job on fixing Harry's mental health.
Yeah, and I'm really excited about this project, right? Because I think we can make an impact.
Yes, I'm sure. And although they weren't dancing in the street when you and Meghan got married, you might find they break out into dance when you leave.
Like Oscar Wilde said, some bring happiness wherever they go. Some, whenever they go.
Tom Bauer believes that you two are still up to no good, and like mischievous scamps, are planning to pull a stunt just before the coronation.
They're so suspicious. I mean, suspicion.
Such as, we've certainly got nothing planned. Have we, Meghan?
No, H, no, nothing at all.
Well, he has suggested, and he's not the only one, that you might decide to pull out of the coronation last minute. I mean, you've already insulted the affair by promising to leave merely a couple of hours later so you can return home to Archie's birthday. Private jet, I assume.
You know me too well.
But you're confirming that there's absolutely no truth in this?
None whatsoever, Cobalt. Got my invitation here. You've been formally invited to attend, etc., etc. Reserved a seat on row Q.
Q?
Q?
Yeah, that's not the best, is it? Well, no, don't worry, look. It's got an asterisk next to it, which means it's special. So specials, that's good. Yeah, asterisk, hold on. What does one asterisk mean? Let me go and consult the key. And, yeah, okay. What does restricted viewing mean?
Well, it probably means you're sitting behind a stone pillar or something.
Yeah. This feels like I'm going to be sitting with the lower royals or something.
Oh no, not at all. I mean, the lower royals won't be sitting any farther back than E or F.
You mean I'll be sitting next to Giles Brandreth?
Oh no. Nowhere near Giles. You'll be sitting next to James Corden.
I am so sad I'm not going. Yeah.
No, this must be a mistake. No, I must have got James Blunt's invitation by accident.
Oh, mate, these royals are something else. I can't believe it. They really are something else. No, we've got to laugh, Harry. I mean, we've got to laugh.
Is this what we've been reduced to? Is this what I've been reduced to?
Well, it's the kind of thing that happens if you listen to charlatans who promise you futures that are only believable with the rampant denial of facts that is so popular nowadays, clothed as they are in terms like my truth or lived experience.
They're two of my favourites.
Well, cling on to them, because they are what you traded reality for. A fact that is never fully appreciated until the brutality of reality comes in to shatter all perceptions.
You're being awfully quiet.
Sorry, what? Sorry, what do you mean all these new ventures I've been announcing are just shameless stunts that aim to deflect attention away from the coronation?
Well, I couldn't sum it up more precisely than that.
On the whole, my Meghan likes to keep her head down, and out of public attention. But, granted, you're right. Recently, she's had some good news. She just wanted to share it with the world.
Well, she'd been pretty quiet for weeks, months even, standing back silently while she let you promote your disastrous bile-filled grumble about the pains of being a prince, your book Spare.
What are you talking about? It was an instant literary classic.
Yeah, I didn't really get involved in Harry's book tour because, that was him. That was all him. That didn't involve me at all. I didn't really want to muscle in on the attention.
God forbid.
Yeah, she let me get all the credit for the book.
Very wise. But that's not really characteristic of you, though, is it, Meghan?
What do you mean?
Well, we haven't forgotten your engagement announcement interview where you hardly let Harry or the interviewer get a word in as you prattled on about inanities and trivialities and that irritatingly affected voice you have, unconcerned about whether the things you were saying were relevant or even true.
My Meghan doesn't let the normal parameters of conversation get in the way of her communication, Relevance, truth, interest. She doesn't let those things concern her.
Yes, we've noticed that every time she opens her mouth.
I mean, let me put it this way. Harry said a lot of harmful and spiteful things, right, about his dear family. I didn't really want my reputation, sullied by such a diatribe, you know? It's bad for your cosmic karma.
You basically told me what to write.
It does seem a little coincidental, Meghan, that you're announcing all these new things and projects just weeks and days before the coronation after remaining quiet for months and months.
Yeah, no, it's just a coincidence. You know, things in life go in ups and downs, you know, peaks and troughs. You know, for the last few months, I've been quiet for me. You know, I've just been at home and watching the staff bring up my children. But now I'm on an upward slope again. You know, yay, things are starting to happen.
A new hair, new skin, a new face, generally. A big screen kiss rejection, new TV production career, and possibly a new Netflix series wandering around South Africa telling people about mental health, probably.
Helping them come to terms with their inner mental turmoils. Yes, yes.
And all these developments all came about at one time, coincidentally, just before the coronation. Did they, Meghan?
There's a certain tone I'm detecting to your line of questioning here, Dr. Jackson. One that implies that I'm some kind of, what, scheming harpy?
Yep, definitely some harpy implications going on here, Cobalt.
Oh, the Harposcope 8000.
S-Class.
Just 1 second, you two. That was the video. And if you could now please press the like thumb, the notification bell, the subscription button, and leave a comment in the comment section below, that would be mightily welcomed. Thanks. Now please continue with the drivel you were spouting.